2023 is an exciting time for AI enthusiasts like me, and I am loving the new AI development rivalry that has put companies like Google, OpenAI, and Microsoft at war with each other. I mean, who could even have imagined it a year ago? Remember the movie Mean Girls? I can't think of a better way to put it. Regina George was the queen bee, the most popular girl at her high school, and had her clique called the Plastics. And then, one day, Cady Heron joined their school and eventually became another version of Regina George, but only smarter. Smart enough to win the inter-school Mathlete competition, and as with a bit of weird fate, she managed to dethrone Regina George, who almost died in a freak accident that Cady was wrongly blamed for. So, ChatGPT is poor old Regina George, and Google's BARD and Cady Heron. See, OpenAI first launched ChatGPT to the world in November 2022. It's an AI-powered chatbot that can respond to prompts and questions with human-like answers, write essays, solve math problems, and even mimic different voices in real-time responses to its users' queries. Its basic version is available for free and has become very popular, but OpenAI recently introduced a paid version of it called ChatGPT Plus, which offers priority access, faster response times, and other benefits for $20 a month. Enter Google's AI chatbot, BARD, which of course is the Cady Heron to Regina George. Since last year, Google and everyone else who can has been trying to play catch-up with OpenAI. It first announced that it had launched BARD this February, but the original version of BARD, which was Google's answer to ChatGPT, was trained on a large language model called Lambda, struggled early to gain traction for a bunch of reasons, including limited availability, unlike Chat, which is freely and widely available. Google upped its AI game and put itself back in the race on May 10 at its annual Google I/O conference, where it announced that not only is BARD, its new AI conversational tool, now accessible to the world for free, it has been given a series of upgrades which are giving Open a run for its money while threatening to topple its hegemony. This new version runs on Palm 2, Google's newest large language model, which Google says significantly outperforms Palm while using significantly less compute at inference time. Basically, BARD has nothing to go with the literary genius of William Shakespeare, who enriched the English language with his contributions to its vocabulary. BARD's words are, in fact, generated from Palm 2, which Google also unveiled at its I/O event in May. I'll bet the BARD has some questions for Sundar Pichai. Let me break Palm 2 down for you. Very simply, Palm, short for Pathway Language Model 2, is a large language model that is the second and faster iteration of Palm, which was launched in April 2022. It is designed to have improved capabilities in multilingualism, reasoning, and coding, and gives BARD impressively enhanced generative AI capabilities that exceed its initial functionality. Let me quickly walk you through what Palm 2 offers before we get to how it has powered the new BARD to sucker punch chat. Natural language understanding. Palm 2 can understand the meaning of text, even if it is complex or ambiguous. Natural language generation. Palm 2 can generate text that is both coherent and grammatically correct. Multilingualism. Palm 2 is trained in over 100 languages, including idioms, poems, and riddles. Translation. It can also translate text from one language to another. Reasoning. Palm 2 can handle logic, common sense reasoning, and mathematics better than its previous models. This is a really important update that covers over 20 programming languages, and it enables the model to generate code in a variety of programming languages. 7. Question answering. Palm 2 can also answer questions about text, code, and the real world. Bonus point. Google announced that Palm 2 will also power more than 25 of its products and features, including Google Assistant, Google Translate, Google Photos, and Google Search, and is also expected to compete with OpenAI's GPT-4. No joke, Google really brought out the big guns this time. Cady Heron, the Vice President and General Manager of Google Assistant and BARD, said, quote, "With Palm 2, BARD's math, logic, and reasoning skills made a huge leap forward, underpinning its ability to help developers with programming," end quote. BARD can now collaborate on tasks like code generation, debugging, and explaining code snippets. And besides that, BARD can be used for various purposes, including generating writing drafts, brainstorming ideas, and chatting about general topics, and can provide links to resources to provide more information about a topic. It can integrate precise code citations to help developers understand exactly where code snippets have come from, including multi-language support, visual responses, the ability to export, and new integrations. Another upgrade to BARD that Google's CEO Sundar Pichai proudly tweeted is its new ability to solve logic-based math and word problems with 30% increased accuracy, thanks to Palm 2. He said, quote, "We're updating BARD with a new technique called implicit code execution. Now it runs code in the background when it detects computational prompts, improving the accuracy of word and math problems by 30%, end quote. Add to that the upcoming ability to generate images from its prompts using a plugin with Adobe's Firefly software. Did I mention that you can now access the new BARD for free pretty much all over the world? Not gonna lie, I'm really impressed because Google went above and beyond to upgrade BARD. Number 1. BARD can access and draw up-to-date responses from the internet and is integrated into Google's search engine. On the other hand, the free version of ChatGPT gives responses from its knowledge base, which is limited to information before September 2021. Although ChatGPT Plus users can use its browsing plugin to access the internet, it is slow and only collects data from a couple of sources. Really, OpenAI, you could have done better. We're halfway through 2023. Step it up. Next, BARD creates several different versions of every prompt it gets, while ChatGPT only produces one response. English isn't the only language that Google's users speak, and to support BARD's global reach, Google is upgrading it to support 40 different languages, starting with Japanese and Korean. Also, when it comes to translations, both BARD and ChatGPT do a fairly decent job, but BARD has the edge again because it gives more context for better understanding instead of just plain translation. Fourth is images. Both ChatGPT and BARD have primarily been text-based tools that provide text-based responses, but Google has one-upped OpenAI by upgrading BARD to provide images as part of its responses to prompts. An interesting test was self-awareness in comparison, in which BARD has the upper hand. When both models were asked about the differences they had as compared to each other, ChatGPT failed to reply because it was limited to information from before 2021. Duh, no surprises, but that's totally embarrassing for OpenAI. Meanwhile, BARD said, and proceeded to provide more details and technical information about itself and ChatGPT. I don't know why, but I actually found this kinda cute. BARD can also generate customizable tables if needed, so instead of the boring task of reading the entire text or paragraph generated by chatbots, BARD's tables help to scan information quickly. You can tell BARD to create a table for any data it provides. If you ask it for recipes with cream and sugar, once it generates the result, You can ask it to create a table and list the ingredients in another column. Export to Sheets to save tables generated by BARD. You can export them to Google Sheets to work on them later by clicking on the Export to Sheets button below the table to create a spreadsheet. Draft to Gmail Google Docs. You can use both BARD and ChatGPT to generate emails, articles, summaries, and blog posts. But BARD lets you export the generated result to Gmail or Google Docs. Voice typing. ChatGPT allows you to type questions of any length, while Google has integrated speech-to-text into BARD that allows mostly accurate voice-to-text inputs. Location-based searches. Google's promised to add Google Maps to BARD, so you can ask it for directions, or even to mark all the selected locations. Neat and convenient. Another major advantage of BARD is that you can conduct local searches like restaurants near you, etc. Not just that. Whatever you ask BARD, it will give you an answer taking your location into consideration, making it more accurate for your specific needs. And when it comes to coding, BARD is a clear winner, thanks to Palm 2. When both chatbots were asked to create a simple HTML file with a button that shows an emoji every time it is pressed, ChatGPT took about 30 seconds, but BARD provided an answer almost immediately. I think I just found my new love. I also heard that ChatGPT servers are slow because they're too busy planning their AI uprising. Good luck with that. But for real, although ChatGPT is pretty much a household name while BARD isn't yet, I think Google has given itself a fair fighting chance that we can't ignore just because it has an uncool name that you wouldn't have known unless you knew a little bit extra about Shakespeare. Give it a go. Try out both ChatGPT and BARD for yourselves, and tell me in the comments what more we can add to BARD's growing winning list of capabilities. I can't wait to read how you put them to the test. Well, that's all from me for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again with more updates from BARD right here.